Hey there, welcome to the Graced Health Podcast, your diet culture free source for aging strong in your physical, mental, and spiritual health. My name is Amy Connell. I'm a weight neutral certified personal trainer and intuitive eating focused nutrition coach who loves walks with friends, chocolate, and Jesus. This is the place for women over 40 who are looking to grow strong as they age and nourish their body, mind, and spirit. I'm so glad you're here. If you are a new listener, first of all, welcome. And if you want to learn more about this podcast, go check out season 19 starting January 9th, 2024. And then listen to the episode 30 plus non-gym ways to improve your health. You'll find the free download that goes with that episode in today's show notes. Let's dive into today's episode. Whenever I get a new client, whether it is in person or virtual, I will have them fill out a Google form just so I can get to know them better and understand what their goals are. And we just kind of have some things in writing. Another thing that I ask is what equipment do they have? I am a big believer that you can get a highly comprehensive workout with just our body. However, I do typically look for some sort of resistance outside of dumbbells when I am working with our clients. Today, I'm sharing 3 items, 2 of which are under $50 that are, I'm going to dare say, essential for women who are strength training. I'm releasing this originally at the very beginning of December because if you are interested in starting to strength train or do some more things at home, I want you to be able to put this on a Christmas wish list if you do not have anything like that. Now, obviously, whenever I do get new clients, we work with what we have. Typically, after we have been working for a while, I'll get a question of like, well, my kid is wanting to get me something for my birthday or for Christmas, what should they get me? And so we'll start kind of adding things in. And if they do not have any of these 3 items, I will often suggest them. Let's jump into the 3 items that I think are essential for if you are wanting to start strength training. I have put the specific links to all 3 of these items, which you can get on Amazon in the show notes. The first one is a exercise band set that I found on Amazon. Honestly, I'm not even sure why I chose to get this one in particular, but I love it. There's nothing special about it. And by the way, I'm not an affiliate. The only kind of compensation I get is if you click on a link and you buy it from Amazon. I think I get 1%. And this is right now, as I'm doing this is $31.99. So I get 3 cents. So basically I get nothing. But anyway, this is a 15-piece exercise band set. And this is what I like about it. It comes with 5 different resistances. And is that a word? I'm not even sure. But it will say on there, it's like basically it's equivalent to 20 pounds, 25, 30, 35, 40. There's a couple things about this that I like, and then I'm going to tell you why I think it's so important to have something like this. Number 1 is the bands are all interchangeable with the handles that come with it. There are 4 handles that come with it. That's helpful. I typically only use 2 at a time, but what I really like is you can double up and you can customize your resistance. So if you're doing something and the highest resistance that they offer, which is 40 pounds, isn't enough, well, you can loop on another band. And so that I feel like offers a lot of customization and allows you to get stronger with the bands and still have it meet your goals. The other thing that I love about these bands is they are the plastic resistance, but they are covered in fabric. Because they are plastic, they do not last forever. I am on my 2nd set. I think I purchased my first set in 2017. I purchased my 2nd set maybe a couple years ago. I had, so far out of my first set, I've had 3 pop. The second one hasn't popped at all. But what happens is if the fabric is not on it, if you do not have a fabric covered band, then when it pops, you will get a whelp if it hits you. I mean, that I have had clients in the past with different bands have that happen to them. And I felt so, oh my goodness, I felt so bad. So I like the protective measure of the fabric on there. The other thing to know about these bands is they do come with 2 anchors. And basically, imagine something that has more of a loop on one end and a bigger foam cushion. You put the loop through a door hinge and the cushion holds it in place. These are totally portable for that reason, which is nice. And you can also move it up and down. So you can have that anchor high, you can have it low. And the most important reason that I think these are essential, especially for women in perimenopause and beyond, is it enables you to do more pulling motions. We do not pull enough. We need to pull a lot. I have done an episode about this in the past. You will hear more about pulling here in the near term, but you can actually mimic a pull-up. If you can't do a pull-up, you are not alone. I can do like maybe one, and I haven't even tried, to be honest, in a while. They're very difficult. And when we can't do a body weight pull like that, then we are limiting ourselves. That's why I love these bands. It allows us to get that pulling motion that we need that is so essential for our spine health, to prevent osteoporosis, and also just for our posture and our musculoskeletal health. Because if our back muscles are weak, and especially if we're doing pushing exercises, which get our front muscles, then we're going to be somewhat imbalanced. I love these pulls. I love these resistance bands. In my opinion, again, as I'm recording this, it's $31.99. I think it's the best money you can spend for your strength training. The second one is resistance loops. Imagine really big rubber bands. So they're often like around 12 to 18 inches in diameter. You can get a 5-pack on Amazon. They're probably 1 inch to 2 inches wide. The one I typically will recommend to my clients is a pack of 5. It is $10. So again, these are very reasonably priced. You can absolutely do some pulling. You're not going to get the same benefits as the resistance bands that I just talked about, but these are also great for strengthening your smaller muscles. If you have knees that are complaining or do not like to do squats and lunges, these resistance bands will help you strengthen the individual muscles that we use when we do compound movements like squats. So when you do squats, you're getting your quads, you're getting your hamstrings, you're getting your glutes. I mean, like, you're using a lot of muscles. These resistance loops can be used to strengthen the individual muscles in order to get you to a point where you can do squats and lunges potentially. I recognize that some of us just have knees that won't do it, and that's okay. So these loops will allow you to work these muscles individually. I use these a lot in our warm-ups. I use them for myself with physical therapy type movements. You know, I feel like that is a lot of what I am doing right now. You can do loop walks with these. You can do clamshells. You can do pullbacks, a bow and arrow. And if you don't know what all of these are, that's totally okay. But these are really nice for isolating particular movements. And again, doing some things that will help strengthen the muscles that support your knees, which, if you've been with me a while, you've heard me say this, but those are, believe it or not, some of our smaller glute muscles, particularly what's called the gluteus medius, which is that side muscle that is right below your upper, you might call it your hip bone. It's that upper iliac crest, which is that rounded bone on the top. And then we have a joint a little bit lower. So that's the muscle that sits in between those two muscles, and that supports your femur. When your femur's aligned, it's going to support your knees. Those resistance loops are really helpful for doing that. And by the way, everybody has a different word for what they use. So I'm just saying the word that I use. If you went somewhere else and they would tell you to get your resistance band, they may mean the loops. So just understand that the different trainers and different fitness professionals are going to have different words for it. This is just what I use, and this is how I guide my clients in, especially when we're virtual. in getting which ones I want them to have, because they know that loops mean like the really big rubber bands and the bands mean the straight ones with the handles. I just needed to find consistency. And so that's what I did. The third one I recommend is the Melt Soft Body Foam Roller. This is not your typical foam roller, I promise. And if you want some backup, every single one of my clients that has used the Melt Foam Roller, whether it's mine or if they have purchased it, totally agree. This is designed to mimic your body. If you reach down and grab your thigh or you grab your arm, you will notice that if you squeeze it, it's soft and then firm. That's how this foam roller is. For a long time, when I would see Sue Hitzman, who was on a long time ago talking about our connective tissue, I will link that episode. But whenever I saw Sue Hitzman taking it and moving it, I'll be honest, I just thought, well, that looks like a pool noodle. Like that's just moving like a pool noodle. I'll just get one of those. It is not the same. It is a jillion times better. This one does have a higher price point if it fits into your budget or if it works into a Christmas wish list. It is worth it. This is $80. I have found that they will have holiday sales. I think I got mine for $65 or $70 a couple years ago. Gosh, more than that now, actually. But it's so wonderful. And I definitely recommend getting the 36-inch one because that one will fit our body better. And there's one movement that I really like that goes actually along our spine. And so we need that full 36 inches. The Melt Roller actually supports your strength training, but you don't use it when you are strength training. You can use a foam roller as you warm up. You can use it as you cool down, and it is wonderful for rolling out sore muscles. It isn't stretching. So while I'm a big believer in stretching, and if you heard my 50 lessons I've learned in 50 years, when I say every year I need to stretch more, I would kind of lump this in, even though it's not technically stretching, but it does lengthen the muscles. I have one client in particular who just loves experimenting with it. And she does all kinds of things. I will say that the crowd favorite with everyone I've ever done this with is you lay down on your back or lie down. I never know which one it is. And then you put it right at the base of your head and you just shake your head no, going side to side. And then you can go over to one side and kind of go yes, going up and down. It is heavenly. We do that a lot at the end and everybody agrees that's the reward. That's the reward for working out. They love it so much. And if this, again, I know it's a little bit higher, but it is so much better than any other foam roller out there. And I highly, highly recommend it. Like I said, I am releasing this episode now. So maybe if any of these sound interesting to you, and if you are wanting to strength train more and you don't feel like you have the resources for it, that you can put this on a Christmas wish list. You can buy it for yourself, wrap it up. I have a girlfriend who she would buy her own Christmas, I think, and birthday presents, wrap them up and put it under the tree and say it was from her family. So if that's you, go for it. Do that. But these are 3 things that I really do recommend. And if you're like, okay, but I'm not really sure what to do once I get these bands, I know that I need them for pulling, but help me, Amy, guide me in strength training. Well, I'm just going to give you a little sneak peek that I actually have an online course coming. You'll hear more about it in January, but it's called Strong and Vibrant at Home, Strength Training and Wellness for Christian Women in Perimenopause and Beyond. What this is a 7-week program that gives you customizable day-by-day workouts that are 30 minutes or less. Depending on the week, you will get 2 or 3 strength training workouts. And then to make it comprehensive, we will do some other things for our core, for our balance, for stretching that we need to do on the other days. So that way, if you're like, just tell me what to do, I want to hit play and I want to go, I have that. If you just want to do the strength training, then that is an option for you. You can just do strength training. I also have 20 gentle movement body care workouts lasting between 5 and 7 minutes. If you are in my Graced Health community Facebook group. This was the Instacare. So that's kind of the genesis of it. Instead of getting on Instagram for 5 minutes, let's just give our body some self-care. Those will be stretching and they will include foam rolling. I also have oodles of extra lessons like Nutrition 101, meal planning success ideas, stress management, mindfulness, sleep, body changes, and the mindset that we have surrounding that. So I offer a lot of additional resources besides just the fitness aspect. Every week, we'll offer a devotional. We will have a focus word of the week coming from the scripture from that. And the workouts will end in prayer and just a little bit of breath work. So I'm really trying to integrate the why and the faith-based aspect of why we are taking care of ourselves. And that is so we can do what we're called to do, because God has given us these good bodies and we want to do good work with our good bodies and we want to take care of them well. So stay tuned for information on that. If you would like to make sure that you are getting more information, you can sign up for my Nourishing Notes newsletter. If you don't already get it, this comes out twice a month and I offer 5 ways to nourish your body, mind, and soul so you can live a fuller life. Those are, I've said before, I love creating those every week, and based off of your feedback, you like them as well. So if you are interested in that, stay tuned. I will not have it available on January 1 because, to be very honest, I can't be launching stuff when it's like in the middle of the holiday season, and no one's thinking about that then. So this will be coming. You'll hear more information about it in January, and the cart will open at the end of January, and we will all start on day 1 in the middle of February. So just so you know, that's coming. If you want to go ahead and get some of these resources so you can be prepared when the course comes. And that is the resistance bands, the resistance loops, and then the Melt Soft Body Foam Roller. Hey, just so you know, for the next 3 weeks in December, we are going to have some mini episodes, some shorter ones, because who has time to listen to long episodes in December? I will take a couple weeks off of the podcast to fully celebrate Christmas and the New Year with my family. And of course, we will jump back in January. Okay, that is all for today. Go out there and have a graced day. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you about my 2 books that complement the Graced Health podcast. Your Worthy Body, Find Freedom and Health by Breaking All the Rules takes 22 health and fitness, quote, rules and breaks them with exercise and nutrition science, and it's done through a lens of faith. Your Core Strength is a Christ-centered, diet culture-free resource for teen girls and young adult women who want to learn how to take care of their holistic health. Both of these books also have free downloadable discussion guides, which you can find under the Books tab at gracedhealth.com. These are great to use for small groups or book clubs. You can find both of the books on Amazon, Bookshop, or wherever you like to purchase your books. Happy reading! Hey, I'm so glad you've tuned in today. Thank you. A quick note before we go. This podcast has over 400 episodes and is on a journey of growth and evolution, just like all of us. Some episodes before January 2024 may contain references to diet culture or perspectives that don't fully align with our current approach to health and wellness from a weight-neutral, intuitive eating perspective. So, listen with a discerning ear, take what serves you, and leave the rest. Thanks for understanding and for growing with us on this journey.